Hello, welcome to today's immigration tidbit. Are you in deportation proceedings, or as they call it now, removal proceedings, as they've been calling that for years? Is a friend of yours in removal proceedings? Well, let me give you a brief overview of what to expect so you're under no illusions. The first part to consider is first whether you are in detention or not. If you are in detention, and when I say you, I mean you or a loved one or someone you know who needs help who's in removal proceedings. If you are in detention, you get under the expedited track, which means it moves a lot quicker. It may not seem to move a lot quicker if you're in detention, but rather than something that might take 2 years to 3 years, it will take likely 3 months to 6 months. Now, in detention, without an attorney, they will rush it through, and you will feel like a whirlwind of saying yes, no to whatever it is they put in front of you. And in fact, in detention, if not being represented, they many times will put 10, 15, 20 people all in the same hearing with basically the same NTA. It'll go through a master calendar, and
Hello,
you
Moto.
could be ordered deported. It just depends. Now, in this particular case, sorry, it's my phone. I don't know if you could hear that. So in this particular case, you really don't want to be in a mass deportation hearing because the idea of the judge is to get 30 people out and deported in the most efficient way possible, and that does nothing to help you. Okay, so first thing is you want to get representation, because the purpose of a removal hearing is to remove you, to get the deportation order, deport you, and to get one less case off the docket of the judge. That is the opposite of helping you. Okay, so if you are not detained, then of course it goes through the normal calendar, and it could take a very long time. In fact, depending where you are, it might be 3 to 4 years before your next hearing, which in some cases that hurts you, and you'll want to try to expedite it by various motions. But the first thing that happens is you are served with an NTA, or a notice to appear. Now, the immigration court, does not have jurisdiction unless that document is also served on them. There have been cases where a notice to appear was served on you and not served on the court for some reason, and you're now in limbo for a very long time because the court can't do anything with it unless they're served with it from immigration. But assuming that's the case, the notice to appear begins the procedure, and assuming the court is served, you will then get notice of when your hearing is, where it is, and what time. You need to appear, hopefully with an attorney, but even without an attorney, you must appear, or you will be ordered deported in absentia. That's a certainty. If you are not at your hearing, you will get an order of deportation in absentia, of which they could then come and remove you from the United States, and you will not have an opportunity to have your day in court because you've already had that opportunity and you've been ordered removed. Okay, so the first calendar, or the first hearing, is called the master calendar
Hello,
hearing.
Moto.
Is when you basically have a hearing that you are supposed to go to plea to the allegations that are in front of you. Okay, now those particular allegations that are in front of you, you'll either admit them or deny them, and of course your attorney will know what to do with them at the hearing. Now, some people make the mistake of thinking the master calendar, it's only a few minutes long, can't possibly be that important, I'll just get an attorney after. Well, the master calendar hearing is a very important hearing that will determine what the direction of your whole case is, what relief you're seeking, what evidence they may have against you, what paths that will be taken from here on in order to go forward with the case. So it's very important to have a master calendar hearing be properly done, which again would involve an attorney who's an immigration attorney who knows about deportation hearings. After the master calendar hearing, there is, depending what you pled to, a contested hearing on the allegations in the NTA. Now, the contested hearing, that's where immigration will bring a bunch of documents. You will, and the judge will decide whether or not to uphold, sustain, or dismiss the particular NTA allegations against you, and ultimately determine if you're removable or not. Then, after that, depending, there's a lot of depending. It's like where the river and water flows, depends on how it goes. But assumably, after, it will be a hearing that will be a filing hearing where you'll file all your applications for relief, assuming you were found to be removable. Whether it's cancellation of removal or asylum or registry or adjustment or a waiver and so forth. And then ultimately, there'll be a merits hearing. And the merits hearing is the trial where the court will decide whether to grant or deny and whether or not you essentially remain in the U.S. or don't. And there's lots and lots of variables. But that basically is the crux, the summation of how it goes in immigration court for a removal proceeding. Okay.